Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Today, we're literally unpacking a massive, highly structured 30-day AI challenge put together by creator Rahul. We're going to look at exactly how this curriculum bridges the gap between just knowing foundational theory and actually getting your hands dirty building custom models. Look, if you follow the AI space, you know that the leap from simply reading about artificial intelligence to actually engineering it, well, it can feel like trying to cross a massive canyon, right? This 30-day roadmap is essentially designed to be that bridge. It's a seriously ambitious journey. The goal is to take someone who just has an interest in the tech and completely transform them into a capable builder in literally a month. So, we're going to dive deep into how this curriculum is structured to make that happen.
Here is our roadmap for today, following the challenge's chronological progression. First, the 30-day challenge. Second, the theoretical foundation. Third, the core objective. Fourth, the path to building models. And finally, number 5, logistics and learning tools.
All right, part 1, the 30-day challenge and its core mission. Okay, let's dive into this. Rahul explicitly stated, this course's aim is to teach you how AI works, the behind the scenes. And this is absolutely crucial to establish right from day one. When a lot of folks hear AI challenge, they immediately assume it's just going to be a quick tutorial on how to type clever prompts into a chat box. But no. This curriculum is deliberately designed to focus on the actual mechanics of the systems. It's all about taking you behind the curtain to really understand the architecture that makes these models tick. Moving past just using the apps to getting a deep mechanical comprehension means you stop treating AI as this magical black box and you actually start understanding the neural pathways and the data flow that generate those outputs. And this brilliantly illustrates a fundamental difference in approach, learning AI tools versus creating your own AI. Rahul is super clear that if you just want to learn how to use existing apps to, say, summarize PDFs or boost your daily productivity, that's a completely different topic, one that's better saved for a different course. The actual goal of this specific 30-day challenge is way more ambitious. It is squarely focused on creating your own AI from scratch. Honestly, it's like the difference between learning how to drive a car and learning how to build the engine. Both are totally valuable, but this challenge, it's strictly for the mechanics. Moving right along to part 2, the theoretical foundation, let's look at the first 5 days. Because the ultimate goal here is building, you can't just skip straight to the code. You'd be totally lost. So the first 5 days are designed as an intense, dense sprint through foundational theory. The curriculum moves rapidly from the absolute basics of neural networks into deep learning and machine learning. You'll cover the specific architectures you actually need to know, like LLMs, RNNs, and narrow AI. It even looks at the current trajectory toward AGI and ASI, just to give you context on where the whole industry is heading. But, and this is key, it pairs that mechanical focus with the critical human elements of the technology. As a builder, you're the one dictating the outputs. That means navigating AI risks and ethics, bias, deepfakes, and misinformation is a core part of the syllabus. This robust theoretical base ensures that when you do start compiling code in week 2, you actually understand the structural and ethical implications of the models you're training. Part 3, the core objective, building your own AI. So naturally, when you tell a group of people they are going to build an AI, a massive question pops up right away. People ask, can we really make our own Gemini or ChatGPT? During his live session, Rahul addressed this ultimate doubt directly. And his answer? An enthusiastic, definitive yes. Creating a custom, high-level AI model that functions similarly to the massive tools you know and use every single day, that is exactly the goal of this journey. The ambition here is off the charts. You aren't just making some little toy model that can solve basic math. You are learning how to deploy sophisticated systems capable of complex reasoning and generation. You aren't learning the theory just to appreciate what other people have built. You're learning it so you can architect the whole shebang yourself. So the crucial point is understanding what success actually looks like for this challenge. Custom model building is the process of moving beyond prepackaged platforms to actively train, fine-tune, and run your own personalized AI model. This is the exact moment you shift from being a simple user to being a creator. Think about it. Why rely on a mega corporation's API and pay their crazy token costs when you can train a model on your own proprietary data? This creates true technical independence. It's about having the capability to fine-tune a system for highly specific, niche use cases that an out-of-the-box product simply can't handle. You own the model, you own the weights, and it runs entirely on your logic. Which brings us to part 4, the path to building models, spanning days 6 through 30. Let's move on and see how this builds, because this is the absolute heart of the 30 days. Once those first 5 days of theory are checked off, the sequence maps out a highly specific, practical path. Step 1 is running AI locally. You start here to really understand inference without the crutch of a massive cloud server. You learn how hardware constraints dictate model size, and you get the privacy and control of a totally offline system. Then, step 2 introduces RAG, or Retrieval-Augmented Generation. Honestly, this is arguably the single most sought-after enterprise skill right now. RAG lets you take a foundational model and hook it up to a dynamic external database, so it can read your specific PDFs or company wikis. It virtually eliminates hallucinations without you having to retrain the whole system. And finally, step 3. The final boss, fine-tuning models. This goes way deeper than RAG. You aren't just handing the model a document to read anymore. You are fundamentally altering its behavior, its tone, and its logic by updating its internal parameters to get the exact outputs you want. This sequential progression is exactly how the challenge transforms raw theory into concrete, highly valuable engineering skills. Finally, Part 5, Logistics and Learning Tools. Let's talk about breaking technical barriers. Now, when people hear terms like fine-tuning models or local inference, there's almost always an immediate panic. People assume they need thousands of dollars in high-end hardware like racks of enterprise GPUs. But the reality of this curriculum is completely different. While sure, it is definitely more comfortable on a standard computer, the instructor clarifies that you absolutely do not need some crazy expensive laptop. You can actually participate and train these models entirely in the cloud using a platform called Google Colab. Get this, you can even execute this right from a mobile phone. This represents a massive, massive democratization of artificial intelligence. The technical barrier to entry for engineering AI has literally never been lower. Furthermore, building models means you are inevitably going to hit some walls. Learning these super complex topics in total isolation would be incredibly daunting, but the curriculum structure actually accounts for this by providing active, live doubt resolution. There's an ongoing WhatsApp group where students can connect, troubleshoot, and get immediate feedback. Coupled with live streaming sessions dedicated entirely to breaking down the tough material, this community basically acts as a lifeline. So if your code is bugged out or your RAG implementation isn't pulling the right documents, you aren't just stuck. The structure guarantees an active community is right there, so absolutely no learner gets left behind. So we've seen exactly how this roadmap is designed to work. It requires 5 days of intensive theory to lay that essential groundwork, followed by 25 days of relentless hands-on execution, moving from local models to RAG all the way up to fine-tuning. It equips you with advanced engineering skills, it's backed by amazing community support, and it requires nothing more than a smartphone to get started. So I'm going to leave you with this provocative question to chew on. With the barrier to entry literally this low, what kind of custom AI will you build by day 30? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I really hope this breakdown sparked your curiosity and empowers you to start your very own journey into AI creation.